Howdy, welcome back. Today we're looking at one of the first pistols I ever purchased, and that is this Taurus PT101AF 40 caliber semi-automatic pistol based on the Beretta 92 platform. First, to my YouTube reviewer, these are unmodified handguns, and we are in a locked and secured range. And to those of you who are new, please hit subscribe. It helps out the algorithm a lot. So this is the Beretta pattern of, as you can see, it's very similar to the Beretta pattern. Beretta had a factory in Brazil in the 70s to manufacture military arms for them. And they sold that factory to Taurus in around 1980, as far as I understand. And since then, Taurus has been making excellent licensed copies or basically the Taurus version of the Beretta 92, which many people consider to be superior because the current version of the Beretta has this fiddly and potentially problematic decocker safety on the slide, which can be inadvertently activated when you clear a malfunction like that. It can turn itself on, deactivating the trigger. The Taurus version never switched to the slide-mounted safety like the Beretta did. So the Taurus retained the original Beretta style frame-mounted safety, and which allows you to carry cocked and locked, which is the hammer back and the safety on, so your first shot can be single action. And this variant allows you to decock it safely as well. So if I push the safety lever down, it's ambidextrous as well. Push it down, it will drop the hammer safely. And this one remains in the down position until you put it back in the fire position, or you can also lock it in with the hammer down, so that it will not allow the trigger to come back far enough to drop the hammer if the safety's on, which is pretty cool. And it allows as I said, the single action style. 1911 guys prefer this style, so you can carry it with the safety on, and then you just swipe the safety off when you draw, and you have a nice, crisp, single action trigger break. The reset is pretty short, and the trigger pull is nice and crisp. The double action trigger is smooth. This one is one I got more recently, but it's still an older design. It's not the current model of Taurus PT92, which has wider serrations in the slide, and it has a accessory rail, and the configuration of the grips are different. I think this grip screw is actually a larger size with a different bushing on the new ones. I don't know why they did that, but it's kind of annoying. The original Beretta and Taurus style grip screws are interchangeable, so they use the same grip screws. This one has, as I showed you, the decocker that stays in the down position once you activate it until you push it back up. This variant it has the decocker feature, but it springs back up. When I let go of this lever, it's going to spring back up to the fire position. So it's basically never deactivating the trigger, which is good. This is actually probably the preferable variant. So this one has beautifully polished slide and blued slide. Has that Taurus billboard on it, but that's ideally, in my view, that shouldn't be there, but I don't mind this side as much. And this one is the 100 variant, which means it's the 40 caliber, but it has fixed sights. So this one has the original Beretta 92 style fixed 3-dot sights. The front sight is milled into the slide, whereas the 101 has the front sight is also milled into the slide, but you can see that it's a little bit taller, and that is to accommodate the adjustable rear. Those dots have worn out over the years, but it originally had 2 dots in the rear, and it has a red dot in the front. There you go. It's not particularly more visible, but it's more visible than a naked nickel-plated front sight would be without a dot in it. So This is one of the first guns I purchased in about 1994, right in the middle of the 40 caliber craze. People were dumping their crusty 9mm for the awesome new Monster Dragon Slayer 40 caliber pistols, and it was in the middle of the 1994 assault weapons ban as well. So anything over 10 round magazines were outlawed for manufacture. So this is the one that what it came with. The original Taurus PT101 and 100 came with an 11 round 40 caliber magazine, and then they started making 10 round versions during the assault weapons ban. And also this is for places like California that have a restriction on magazine capacity. But since then, Mec-Gar has made 13 round capacity 40 caliber magazines for these, and I paid a pretty penny for an extra 11 round magazine because I was young and stupid, and that extra round of freedom really mattered to me. So at the time, I think it was something like $50 or something ridiculous for this extra magazine, which is worth, you know, at the time was about $15 or $18 for a 10 round magazine. Anyway, I got this blued version because I thought it was cool, and I got a really good deal on it. It was basically new. There's a little tiny bit of wear around the bottom of the frame where the mag slides on it, because it's kind of a sharp edge. There's not a bevel in it, but otherwise there's zero, you know, ring marks on the front strap or any other marks. It's basically unused. So like that quite a bit. It really shows your fingerprints off though when you have that polished blue slide. So anyway, let's shoot these. All right, so this is the PT101AF, and what they called a stainless finish, but it's actually aluminum frame and a nickel plated slide, I believe. And this is Aguila 180 grain. Let's try decocking for the first shot. Let's shoot that top circle. So I should probably be done. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but that is dead center on that circle. I usually should just quit when I'm ahead, but got some pop to it compared to the 9mm. It really feels a lot powerful. Low. The magazine release is right here. Drop your magazine. Getting a little bit of trigger sting with these full power factory loads. I haven't shot a lot of factory 40 caliber since about 1997. So, but see, it hits where you point it generally. That was the same hole. Headshot on that guy. Dead center. So that was a faulty failure to lock the slide back. That's probably due to this old crusty factory magazine. So the other issue is, hopefully I'm in frame here, Mec-Gar magazines for these. Usually Mec-Gar is regarded as being the best aftermarket manufacturer, and they do make the factory magazines for many pistols. But in this particular configuration, if I stuff this full of 13 rounds, I cannot easily seat that maggot. It swells right up around the, it's rubbing on the grip frame. So Wouldn't use these for serious purposes, but see if I can get it focused again. Here we go. It's definitely fine for range use, but they won't drop free if they're loaded. Still the same spot on that top center circle. I'm getting really lucky today. So the Mec-Gar mags lock back the slide fine when it's empty. Let's try the blued version. That one's also very, very, very stiff to get in and out if it's full. So it's not the gun, it's the magazines. They're both having trouble with the Mec-Gar. So let me make sure I'm in focus here. Apologize. Okay. So this one has the decocker that springs back up when you let go of it. That's a better feature. However, the trigger on this one is not as good as mine well-worn original PT101. Trigger on this one, the DA trigger is it's smooth enough, but it stacks right when it breaks, which means that it gets much harder to pull right as soon as it reaches the end of its travel. These 3-dot sights are bugging me. My weird eyes. If I can hit one of those little guys. So, having a hard time hitting the little ones. Got that one. So, this one shoots just fine as well. The trigger isn't quite as good as I said. There we go, sorry. But it's pretty gun. The blue finish is very attractive. And these are, Brazilian hardwood grips. The grips that came with this one are they feel particularly thick. I measured it compared to Beretta. Beretta's 1.4 inches wide at the screws, and this is 1.41 wide, but as you can see, the surface of this grip is very, very flat. It's not contoured along its full profile, it's just radiused here at the end and at the front. So the sides are very, very parallel and very thick. Makes it feel kind of like a big, thick gun in your hand. But that's, for people who have big hands or whatever. That's good. Give me a little view down here, and it's, the trigger is smooth enough. It feels like a revolver. In fact, it kind of feels more like a Colt Python, where it stacks a little bit right near the end of the break. And the single action trigger is very crisp, and the reset is very short on this one. Nice crisp trigger. All right, I've shot up my last bit of 40 caliber ammo, but this is the last few shots I have. I'll have to go get some more. Yeah, I do like the 40. It's got a little more punch than the 9mm, and you know that there's some energy going downrange. Well, my local Cabela's had some Blazer brass 40 caliber for the princely sum of 60 cents a shot. Try the other one. actually like the sight picture a little bit better on the 101. Use the dots on this PT100. Hold that one really low. Are using my eyes. Anyway, so fun, good looking, functional, smooth shooting pistols from Taurus. What do you think about the 40 caliber? Let me know in the comments whether you think it's the 40 short and weak, or whether it's a great caliber that's not ever going away, or do you think it's on its way out? Anyway, hope you enjoyed that look at these Taurus Beretta copies, or maybe Beretta improvements. And see you next time. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much.